I think it's been better more often than not. Yeah, I mean, the Game Alliance played it as an example, and it made it look fantastic. And whenever you're playing against a lifestealer, I think it's always going to have a place and a purpose. You force him to have an MKB, which isn't something you really want to grab too early on. And in addition, you have this perfect kind of game for it, where both your offlaner and, well, your carry specifically, Yatoro on that Wraith King, will cover you. They're going to scale. So you can just go for the single target assassin build. Do your best Michael Fassbender impression.
Let's see. So the matchups as well. I mean, they had a pretty good inkling that it was going to be the Void Spirit in the mid. This is sort of a matchup where Toronto Tokyo is going to be totally fine, and he is going to have that opportunity to get that first, fast item timing that the panel was talking about to have that impact.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm a little surprised that the Death Prophet is playing as a 4 position in this game. We haven't really seen that, I think, at all. Oh, no, sorry, it's 5. What am I saying? There's both supports on top. I was confused for a moment.
They're just running the aggro for now. Okay, Slayer's now going to go down and join Palantimos here in the safe lane. So, yeah, no, don't worry. Still going to be the 5. It's going to be the 5, yeah.
It's just still an underrated hero, I think. We've seen it first toot a lot more often, but I think it's going to start getting opening banned a little more often as well. But it's just kind of, I guess maybe not really, because it's just a good hero, It's a lot like Puck of the pre-nerf, but I think Puck gave you a little more, I guess, just more reliability, if you think about it in the draft. Like, even support Puck, right? I have Coil. I can buy an Ags. Now I have Super Coil. And you counter this mechanic, BKB, which is just really, what other items, How do you deal with BKB? It's like, oh, I'll buy an Abyssal Blade, whereas in Dota 2, certain heroes just have Aghanim Scepters that do stuff that completely changes the dynamics of a game.
So what is it about DP in your mind that does make it viable as a 5, as we're seeing teams run it?
The ultimate, right?
That's the big thing.
It's XP-based damage output. We've seen 5 supports run mid, level 6, level 7. They end up doing the most damage in the team fight. You end a game with the most tower damage dealt. It's a pretty powerful input you can get from just your 5. Compare that to, I'm trying to think of a, there's really no useless 5s anymore. Not like the old days where, no one's picking Lich.
No, well, we did have some Lich, I think, early in this Eastern European division.
That's true.
But you're right, not a lot.
I guess it's unfair to call any hero useless.
I mean, there are some 5s that you'll never see. I mean, when was the last time you saw Dazzle picked?
True.
That hero is kind of totally out of it right now.
Yeah. Like, I'm a big Jakiro fan, as an example, but the problem is you just need too many levels. Whereas Death Prophet, you go like 2-1-2, 2-0-3, have ultimate skilled at 6, and it's like, holy crap, this is a core of damage and sustain, and you have no items but raindrops, wand, and boots. But yeah. Anyway, checking out the lanes. Mid is the one I really want to key in on. I think Toronto Tokyo should come out ahead, but it is Void Spirit. You pretty much trade with anybody, but I've got a lot of faith in Pikachu. I think that one of these days he'll have the same success that his twin brother has found in Na'Vi. But to get there, they would certainly need to win this match and make sure they stay Division 1.
I was going to say, what you'd say out of the mids, you feel that there's more potential in Pikachu than there is in Toronto Tokyo in the future? Like, if you're seeing sort of a year from now, if you had to call one of these mids you're seeing and sort of in the upper division still and staying at the top, which would it be?
Hard to say, because it's not about individual skill once you reach this level. Yeah. It's more about how you grow as a player and your concepts and how smart you are as a Dota player. Like, I'll use Nisha and Thompson as like the shining examples. These guys are good at not just one style of hero, and that's the problem with both these guys. But I would say more specifically Toronto Tokyo, his Storm, his Ember, all of his spirits,
his Death Prophet,
his Wind Ranger.
That's what they were winning games with.
But they're all the same concept. They all do the same thing. I guess DP would be a bit more unique, but that's one of the most understood mid-heroes to like play around as a team and to lead a game. It's like, oh, ult's up, guess I'll go, let's smoke, let's go make a move. It gets more complicated when you're playing stuff like Clinks or Invoker.
We'll see. So far in the laning stage, I mean, both carries at the moment having a bit of a struggle finding the farm in their safe lane. As pressure's certainly there from both sides off laners. In fact, they're the two heroes that are getting the most out of this laning stage at the moment. This Bloodseeker and Tide. It's all right this time. He's got the Fairy Fire, but Big Nump, he needs one more hit. Could he find it? He drops the ward down. Yatoro's trying to juke. He's got a salve going. And that, the stun's going to connect. Big Nump He's able to turn with Ghostic and get the kill. Big Num will fall, but a very worthy trade there for Unique, not only taking down Yatoro, but of course getting him after he did attempt to live with a salve used.
And they, refresh my memory, they picked Tide into the Wraith King, right? It wasn't Wraith King into Tide?
Oh, so I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was the last pick Wind Ranger. Yeah. So
yeah, the Tide was third pick. I remember that.
Yeah, this is why you know, T-Gov reacted the way he did, because you effectively lose your safe lane. The moment you pick Wraith King, you already have the coddle there, so unless you're willing to flex that out and pick a much stronger 5, you're going to be in trouble. And you know, Lion isn't really the strongest 4 position either, so you consider that mid lane you also had the counter pick. It's set up for a really nice laning phase here for Spirit. In fact, they lead, or sorry, not Spirit, but Unique, and they're I wouldn't say they're, how is bottom? I mean, these lanes don't make sense to me. I would not expect bottom to be going this poorly as well for Unique. It's close, sure, but you typically would think Lifestealer would win this lane handily, just trading with Bloodseeker.
Well, I mean, I see what you mean. What you feel that he would have more farm out of this setup than Collapse would.
Yeah.
There's Collapse trying to go on him every time, just laying down the blood bright. They can't dive any further.
Well, it's also because, you know, Palamatinos just went straight for this chainmail, whereas Collapse went for an urn, which obviously with no charges isn't really helping you out too much. I guess I underrate the SD4, right? Saw this picked up by a couple teams in the Europe upper division as well. Just a ton of poison spam. It's really annoying to deal with. And has he got any stacks up? Not quite yet.
I mean, all in all, the close early game. The mid lane matchup very even between Pikachu and Toronto Tokyo. As Pikachu, he's going to make that first move. He's got an Invis rune, and he's heading straight for this top lane. Obviously, the information's been shared that he's away from mid. So Spirit are keeping themselves pretty safe and close to the tower. And looks like Pikachu won't find an opportunity to jump them here.
I really like this move, though. You know, the downside of Wraith King now is you're much weaker in the early game. So, oh, hold up. Mira. Nope.
Or maybe. He's going to pop that rage. And we'll be able to dive in underneath the tower and get himself the kill.
I keep forgetting that gives move speed now. It's so weird when these ancient concepts are just tweaked a bit. Same with like Epicenter. Every time Sand King starts channeling, I'm like, oh, care. But then it just, you know, he walks away and I feel dumb. I like that they rotate to top though. This is the downside of everything. Just run it as lane. And at this point, level 4, no real skeleton charges. I mean, you can't rotate out, right? So if you pressure Yatoro, and we already know how greedy Yatoro really likes to play Dota 2, there's not really a way to recover. Tidehunter is going to be able to pressure this lane by himself pretty soon. He's huge, actually. Oh my god, this is a disaster.
I mean, Ghostic's got complete free farm. And with the Urn and the Morbid Mask, you can't harass him out of lane.
No.
This level 3 Anchor Smash with the life steal from the Mask it's just going to give him so much HP back every single time. He's going to be just sat in this lane, constantly at full HP. Just not a target, really, that's going to be gankable at all this early when you consider the heroes that Spirit have.
No, definitely not. I mean, Unique, yeah, off to a great start. They're going the farming build on Pikachu as well for the max Dissimulate. He got a nice stack. I'd love to see Big Num. In fact, if he had done it once or twice already, I'd be really happy. But if he does it now, stack the Ancients. You know, your Tide doesn't need you. He's farming alone. So unless you're going to go ward or find kills immediately, every Ancient stack represents a hero kill.
They might find the kill here. Let's see Miposhka. He's just speedy enough with the movements. As they are unable to find him in that tree line.
Yep. So you could get the kill there, or take the higher EV play and stack Ancients. Gives the same gold and XP. I would also not mind if he ventured into the area of the map that Yatoro's farming. You've shoved him out of lane. Go drop a sentry in a camp. Those last forever nowadays. Maybe just annoy him. Like, trade your doing nothing for the enemy carries doing nothing whenever possible. But Pikachu is actually stacking for himself instead, although he might let Ghostic take those. We shall see. And bottom, still really nothing doing. Both cores now with phase boots. The support smacking each other. Really peaceful game so far. No violence.
No, just 2 for 1 here at 8 minutes in. See down bottom, an attempt here from Spirit. But nothing more than just a disruption. So won't dive in on that. See Yatoro at least find himself the Possessed Mask. That'll help him stay even safer in the jungle as he tries to play the catch-up game after having to deal with a bit of a tough lane here against Ghostic.
I don't want to harp on it too much. The last time I mentioned it, if Insania was watching this, he'd be very upset with Taiga. He'd say, "You're rank 1? Look at you. You're running in circles. Why are my ancients being stacked? What are we doing here? We're standing here to help my Tide like threaten a coddle, but realistically, even if Ghostic dies here, how many heroes is it going to take? 3, 4? You're fine with that. I guess you'll secure tower, sure, but I do feel Pikachu could have done this by himself. They will give Slayer the XP mid though, which is quite nice. He's saving a point. Big fan, just in case you might need the silence. If he gets 6, then it's a real easy rotation towards mid because you combine this level or 5 position Death Prophet with a super farm Tide.
Yeah.
Ravage DPL. Like, how are you going to contest a mid tower push? What, is Wraith King going to show up?
No, I mean, yeah, just absolutely. It's if he turns up, he's going to go down for sure. So we'll see if they do head over and try and push him. Javelin out and Arcane Rune ready on Toronto, Tokyo. So we'll see if he can find any opportunities to go for a kill, go for a pickoff. But with the way things are at the moment, Unique aren't going to be the easiest team to catch off guard, as they seem pretty prepared and indeed do start to sweep over towards the other lanes to start getting pressure on these other tier 1 towers.
Just not it. I'm just not a huge fan of the way Unique is moving around the map. This is I mean,
they're going for what do you mean? Like the Tide's gone bottom? He wants to push the tier 1 bottom right?
No, you want mid.
Or
you walk mid. Yeah, TP to save it if necessary, but you really shouldn't be. You're taking your strongest hero out of the most valuable part of the map. But there's farm to be had
bottom, or is it just not?
It's just not a. This is like you're playing poker. You flop the full house and you don't bet. You almost always have a higher EV. You bet, right? In this game, you have Ravage. You're about to get DP ultimate. You know, what if there's a Tide Hunter running it at the Wind Ranger? Toronto Tokyo can't make this play. He shouldn't be allowed to get the 10-minute rune. Like, you are stronger. The Wraith King is not a hero in this game. He's just farming an easy camp. Poshka's doing the same and running around stacking. The Bloodseeker is not too much of a threat. He was showing in lane until just recently. Just go get aggro, you know? Make your presence known.
I mean, what do you think they are scared of about that's stopping them from going for the play mid and just continuing to play the farm game split up?
It's just potentially not in their ideology for this game, you know? It's tough at times. It's easy for me, right? We're watching. We see the net worth. We see the last hits. We recognize how punished Yatoro got in the laning phase. You don't have that luxury when you're in the game. You don't have that understanding necessarily of just how far ahead you are. And in this case, they're not even ahead in gold. It's more of how their heroes function and the fact that they have these cooldowns available. Death Prophet is about to hit 6. Whoever gets Tome, Lion, he'll be 6 as well. They have Ravage. Like, that's insane. How do you contest that with anything? You know, Toronto rather, he's got 1,000 health.
Yes.
I mean, and how accurate do you think for pro players their sort of sense of where a game is in general? Like back when you were playing and, you know, you've played a game, you go back, you watch the replay, and you start to see the numbers and how every hero was actually doing at each moment in time. Are you ever like, oh, wow, well, we didn't expect that we destroyed that guy as much as he had. Well, we thought he was actually, they were ahead of us. You know, are you normally pretty on, you know, accurate with how you're reading a game when you're actually in there playing it?
It happens sometimes. You're like, you don't realize just how well you were doing.
Yeah.
But I think it's more of a feeling, you know, and that's why you'll see a lot of these teams discuss how their carry players take over shot calling around 20, 25 minutes into the game, because it's when they feel strong.
Know.
They look around the map, they think, what kills me, right? They get that BKB time, and they're like, yeah, until this puck has ags, there's nothing that can stop me. Like, let's go. I wanna be in enemy territory immediately. But there's a good quote by Seb about how he felt that the net worth graph that we're looking at on the top of the screen actually hurt the layman's understanding of Dota, because
absolutely in I don't know if I'd say the majority of games, but definitely in a significant amount, it can definitely be. Yeah, it doesn't mean a whole lot.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean a lot.
And that's what I mean. So this game, Spirit's ahead on gold.
Yeah.
They're not ahead in terms of who's strong right now.
Sure.
And that's what's missing. So if you look at the way OG plays, if you ever you get fear drunk and talk to him, they'll always discuss timings. It's when is this draft? When is this hero supposed to get things done? That's what they play around. It has nothing to do with does the Wind Ranger have 500 extra gold or not. It's is my team strong? or can we use the Ravage? Can we use the DP ult? I remember Fear just discussing like estimating when he'd be at Necro 3 timing. It's 6 minutes into the game, and he'd be like, yeah, it's going to be faster. I think we'll get it by 17 this time. Like, it's all the timings. Stick, nice juke. Let's see. But yeah, so you have your strongest hero on map currently hiding behind tower. Looks like they may look to make a move, but Slayer is also going to rotate down here. Trouble is, Toronto Tokyo, Spirit's strongest hero, he's doing his job. He is camping on enemy mid-hill and just applying as much pressure as possible, daring anybody to try and run at him. I think they're going to get the hell out of bottom. Or not.
See, now they're going to jump in onto Mira. Might himself a little bit of time with the disruption, but he is definitely dead.
Check out his net worth, though, Owen.
Sure. What, in the sense that it's not worth a lot, that kill?
4-man rotation to your own safe lane. Meanwhile, top is being pushed out.
Mid as well. Look at the tower.
Yep.
Getting some hits in here, Toronto Tokyo, as he brings it down very low there with that space he was given mid.
I would trade my life as a last net worth support for 1,000+ damage on the mid tower. Take that trade all day. And up top, yeah, the Lifestealer is a bit ahead of this Wraith King, but they're trading. You know,
and he's catching up, right?
Yeah.
He had a tough start. You know, and if at this stage he's only 200 behind the Lifestealer, I think he's going to be pretty happy with himself.
He's catching Ghost Stick. Yeah. You know, Ghost Stick had him doubled up at a point.
Or maybe, what could they be waiting for here? Has Ghost Stick got another big item coming? I mean, he's farming up the Blink Dagger, right? So, could be the call there, you know, saying 1,400 gold in. He wants to wait for that.
It's unfortunately common, it's like the common cold. There's this, the symptoms of next item syndrome can be devastating to your chances of winning a game, having a productive day. I hope that they utilize it well, but you're getting to a point. Is Toronto? Yeah, of course. Queued up BKB. So this is the big relationship, right? You will get this blink on Tide, but then the Wind Ranger will have a BKB to counteract it, and suddenly you're in some trouble. But if you use that window well, maybe you win a big team fight, you get mid-tower, you get Roche, but I'm just still in shock that Team Unique have not done anything to this mid-tower or used a Ravage. I mean, they're just content to farm.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they do just feel, well, we've got this with this lifesteal. As long as we're able to secure our half of the map, make sure the Palantimos can farm wherever he wants to, he's going to be able to carry this game. We don't need to try making aggressive moves early on. But you feel from this perspective, you know, you see this game and you feel that, you know, the net worth is still very even, but Unique, they should have had it in them to be able to take a little bit more objective-wise and begin to get an early lead this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to keep twisting the knife, honestly. We'll see how the game plays out.
Sure, because their idea is obviously very different to yours, right?
Yeah,
on what
for
they
sure.
want to do with their draft here.
To your point, they're happy. So they are not reading the game the same way at all. They're saying, all right, Ghost Stick's keeping our bot tower alive. Yeah. We're free farming our Lifestealer. Maybe mid's a bit tough. You know, they made a little bit of a screw up there over rotating to give Toronto so much time on that tower. But yeah, we're just chilling. We're farming.
I mean, everyone is. It's 14 minutes in, just 3 for 2. Just one of those slow burners here so far this game.
I want to make sure they stack Ancients, though. That's key. You know, we see this. Yatoro, was that a 4 stack? Yep, 4 or 3. Unfortunately, I have only seen 1 stack on the Radiant Ancient so far this game, but they've got Blink, they have Ravage. Now, it is go time. Bounty spawn in 20 seconds as well.
Radiant are scanning.
Ghosts out. Tower will start to fall. We'll see if Spirit do try and defend this tower. As you say, you know, Unique's fight around this point is going to be very strong. Ghost Stick's going to jump in from the side there, in onto Mira. That's the Shadow Demon. I want more out of this Unique, at least wanting to find the tower as well as the SD kill. Over to the side, they're chasing for Collapse. Got the Yules into Remnant. Ghost Stick setting up with the Gush. They've got the stun. They'll burst in with the finger. Collapse will get taken out. So they do manage to find that core kill.
And they'll get 2 bounties. 3 bounties. They don't get the mid tower, but yeah, we'll take that. 2 kills, 1 on core. Steal enemy Ancients.
And they did have to use Ravage.
The trouble is, once you use the DP ult, even though it is a support, it becomes a lot more difficult to just hit on the tower. All 3 of their cores are melee. None really do much structure damage. Lifestealer will at a point, but it's not so simple for them to take objectives. It's another reason I like the DP5. It's a lot like Rasta when it used to be picked there in that position. Just kind of guarantees you have the ability to take towers. Uh-oh. Oh, is he just dead?
See bottom. Are they going to be able to kill the win range? They will. But they've lost the tide. They're going to lose both of them here. As both Ghostic and Slayer go down, and that, you know, sure, they get the Wind Ranger, but Ravage obviously being used in an attempt to save his life, and it didn't work out. It didn't save him.
That was really strange, though. I thought Toronto Tokyo could live for sure. He didn't run away. He kind of circled, and also didn't try to sip his bottle in between ticks of that urn. You can see here.
Well, he was siphoned as well, though, I think, in the end.
Yeah, but watch, he doesn't run away, you know? He
sure,
like
he curves in.
Yeah.
That was still a good fight for Spirit, even with the loss of the Wind Ranger.
You're gonna get mid tower though, thanks to these skeletons. It's in eye range. Yeah, Glyph it just to be safe. It does restore. You know, another reason I think the game's got a lot more passive is I didn't really realize how good it felt until I played a bunch of Dota while I've been here, but 3 armor and 1 health regen under tier 1s. Look, like, click on the tower. That's so much space. You know, if you have lane control, extra 3 armor is like 12% more physical damage reduction.
Sure, makes any
so like, even just trading hits is insane. And then tier 2s, no wonder they're so hard to take, because it's 5 armor. 5 armor. It's like a free 600 gold for everybody on your team. Yeah, I digress. Well done, though, by Spirit, though. They're keeping their mid tower alive. Both sides, you know, putting enough emphasis on the mid tower. From a defensive stature, at least, I would have preferred if either one of these teams had been a little more aggro. You're going to have an AC completed quite soon on Yatoro. That might be a nice timing for Spirit, but I think that if there's anybody in this game that can afford to be passive, it's actually this Dire team. You know, especially with the Coddle as well. That Ags can be quite devastating later portions of this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think you look at the 3 cores of Spirit, and I'd say there's definitely more scaling potential in those than the 3 of Unique in the late game. And you have these 3 heroes that can effectively pack the punch. You know, they're all going to be able to right-click down heroes in these drawn-out team fights as we get to the later stages.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm not going to bring up Radiant Ancients. Don't let me bring up Radiant Ancients again this game.
Well, okay? There's still no stacks.
No stacks, and no one's really farming them either. Now it's going to change, though. Palamentinos is on the way. There we go.
You're going to get a stack going?
No, he's just going to farm it.
He's going to kill it inside.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's just going to farm it.
It's really just kind of how I feel the Tide had to be played, right? You can collapse a mid tower, cool with that, get it early, use a Ravage, or you retreat to your Ancients and take like a 5 stack. And it's like, oh my god, this Tide Blink Dagger's online like 5 minutes faster.
Well, we haven't seen too many opportunities for Ghostic to really make plays with the Blink. I'm going to drop the Demonic Purge on him mid. They're still rather tanky, so Spirit can't chase up to the high ground for that.
Yep.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So far, so good. I mean, both teams are just chilling. It's all vibes right now. I mean, it makes sense, though. A lot on the line here. Unique trying to ensure that they can guarantee they won't be relegated. Team Spirit would guarantee they have a tiebreaker to go to the major. So certainly I'd say more on the line for them in a sense, just because getting to the major, you know, after a year, more than a year, without a DPC event, you know, that's got to be
that's huge.
The best teams in the world to play for 2 weeks.
Radiant's middle tower
Shot at even more DPC points. Here comes, though. Ghostic's ready.
He's in. Drops the Ravage down. He's able to catch onto the 2 of them. They blow a mirror with the finger. Now they turn their attention over towards Yatoro. Yatoro with the armlet, keeping himself alive. He's actually able to topple again. He's keeping his life protected. They just turn on a Palantimos with the focus fire. Yatoro, he'll go down the once. BKB up on the Wind Rangers. Toronto Tokyo's able to keep going. They turn with another Shackle. Connects the Lifestealer over towards the Void Spirit. As Toronto Tokyo is able to find that angle. Pikachu's trying to dive in and get some more damage done to Collapse and the Wraith King, but they're too tanky. They stand their ground. They kill off the Void Spirit. as it's not a great fight for Unique at all. Spirit able to easily fight back in that triangle, and they might even find more here as Slayer has been found in the trees. He's going to go for the TP out, but they've got the rod to cancel it.
That one hurts. You know, Team Spirit, they're ready. You open on a Wraith King and a hard support. You're not really sweating that as Team Spirit. You know, the reincarnation comes off, the AC gets delivered, and that just, it's got to spook you. Like, we've made a mistake the moment that AC aura pops up mid-respawn, but this is the trouble when you play too safe. You need to get the little wins. You watch Team Secret, you watch OG, when they have a lead, they jam it down your throat and they get a bigger one. And then when they make this big play, it's a commanding advantage. In this spot, Unique had the little bit of an edge and just did nothing with it. They sat on it, make this move for the big win, but it's an even game now. In fact, you could argue Team Spirit had hit so many timings. That was the first real big initiation. Toronto Tokyo has a BKB.
Yeah, he's got BKB.
He has BKB. He pops ulti on the Lifestealer, and that's that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we're seeing how effective it is, but this decision, you know, on the Wraith King to go for that AC rush, you know, as we see here, 1 minute 39 faster than the patch fastest, of course, because of all these games.
Yeah, more items.
Radiant, you know, but this game, you know, Yotori recognizes, you know, a quick AC is going to do so much more than the Radiance will in the long term. You know, obviously against the Lifesteal, the Radiance has, you know, much less of an effect with him having that rage. And the AC, I mean, they knew with the time that Unique were taking to actually really bring them to a fight, he knew he could get it done, really, before the first aggressive jump from Unique. And when you're jumping into a team of 20 minutes with an AC, where you have quite a large reliance on physical damage to get kills, you're not going to have that punch that you would have had a few minutes ago.
Oh no, Ghostic. You're getting caught, my friend. He's going to have to TP, but it would be too late now anyway.
Yeah, and they've got the control, and they've got the damage.
So,
and that's also his courier, so that's going to be Halberd delayed for 2 minutes with the recipe dead. Again,
I really want to... Oh my god.
So that you can get out. He's got the jump, so he'll live, but only just.
So, to go back to this whole conversation about timings, 3K gold lead for Spirit, sure. The big window now, you have a Halberd on the Tide, as you said, and also we saw in that last fight there was a Halberd on the Lifestealer.
He lost they killed his courier. He's not got it for 2 minutes now.
So the trouble is these active disarms, even if it wins once he gets it, won't be effective on a hero that's already BKB'd, and it's really for the Wind Ranger. In addition, this is a natural MKB buyer, so that evasion is going to be mostly negated in what, 3-4 minutes? So you're behind, and the window of semi-advantage you have, you invest in these items that make you stronger, but it doesn't help you scale. Well, you've got 4 minutes or that window closes. You're not actually stronger anymore. In fact, these items are negligible. Now they hurt you more than help you because you're not doing enough damage in the team fights. You would love to have an AC to cancel out Yotoros, but you went for this this build-up item along the way, and another smoke will come out. They have their spells. Ravage is ready. They've got to get something done here and hopefully convert that into a Roshan.
See if they can find anything here. They will find the DD. I'll give them a nice bit of a buff for the next bit of action. I'm not able to get a jump. They're going to be spotted out by the creep wave. And they won't be able to get a catch onto Spirit. The question is if they want to try for Roche, but with their lineup, it's not super easy. They've got a good fight around the pit, but they don't necessarily take it down too quickly.
That's a cool build from the Slayer. 3 points in silence. I think that's probably the right way to play this support DP. You get double damage for your level 2 on Q. It decreases in proportion for further points. Silence cooldown decreases as well as you get extra points. It's just quite nice, especially in a game against SD Coddle. And into Roche they go. They do have Ravage, so they can defend it, but I am a little spooked. There's a BKB on the Wraith King. They're going to collect these bounty runes and say, hey guys, we don't see anybody. Where could they be? And they have already pinged it. They're on the way.
Are they going to get there in time, though?
They got to hustle. They're going to smoke. It's going to be close.
They will. They're going to get here a pretty good time, but Ravage
what do you
is
do
available.
Here? Oh, goodness.
I mean, they want to keep finishing off this Roche, but Palatinos, he's going to get bashed. He has to put the rage, but he's been ruptured. He jumps into Slayer. I'll keep him away, but Roshan is so low here. And now they will have the Ravage, but they won't have Exorcism for this fight. As Yatoro, he just heads into the pit, and he's just going to be able to finish it. They don't even attempt to fight without the Exorcism. They don't feel confident to go back in, and Spirit pretty much just get handed themselves a free Roshan and a free Aegis.
Thank you very much. We'll take that. It's like that one time I got bullied. I was Halloween trick-or-treating for hours. Some kid just showed up, took my candy.
That's not very nice.
No, it wasn't. Not at all. I guess in this case it's fine, though. It is a competitive video game after all. But the big thing there is that there was a BKB on Yatoro, and Unique knew that. Suddenly, you're already a bit outmatched, you're outpositioned, and you know that your only real initiation is Ghostic going forwards. He blinks in, but if Yatoro just BKBs, Toronto BKBs, no one else is going to be in range, that's it. Your initiation's kaput. It's just a losing scenario, and this game slipping slowly out of Unique's hands, and I fear soon it will increase in pace as Spirit have a commanding lead now. The Solar Crest as well, all this damage amplification. They're just going to go high ground. Why not?
Yeah, Aegis, Reincarnation. Let's see how much they're able to push it in. Ghostic will turn up. That's going to be it's going to be enough for them to back off for now. I mean, there's still tier 2s to be taken in the other lanes. You've now got the MKB finished on Toronto, Tokyo. As both him and Yatoro continue to hold those top 2 spots. Yatoro in particular having a remarkable turnaround after what was a very tough laning stage. He's showing the power of that Wraith King with the recovery he's made. And these items, wow. He's a huge threat. Collapse even feeling comfortable enough to start slipping into Dagon territory on the Bloodseeker.
I dig it. And look at that. I mean, Yatoro found a Cloak of Flames too, so he's even more tanky and a makeshift Radiance to boot. Well, they get Tokyo though. Wow, that was a big kill.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised he did die there, right? Because I feel like he died to the magic damage left by the Astral Step, but he was able to pop BKB.
Mm-hmm.
So how did that work, Kyle? I guess...
Oh, well, Astral pierces BKB.
Well, the magic damage does? Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought... Okay, you're right. I thought when it says yes, I thought it was only the physical element, but I guess you're right. The physical and magical element must pierce BKB, because indeed he pops the BKB, but the magical damage left by the Astral Step still kills him off.
Oh, wow, wait. Or did it... What? I didn't even see the BKB animation.
I mean, he got it off because it's on cooldown, 70 seconds. Look. Watch his items. Same tick.
Wow. Okay, could have been like a same tick thing, because you're right. I wasn't sure. I just assumed that the
you're right.
damage did too.
No, absolutely. You're right. The ability does say pierce the spell immunity, yes, but obviously has a physical element and a magical element.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, Valve being Valve, it was just referencing the physical, but I guess it references the magical as well there. Astral Step attacks do not cleave. Oh, well, that's probably stopped my Void Spirit Battlefield build then.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Damn tool
I think it did when it was first released.
No, I don't
people
think
bought it. No,
I've never bought Battlefield on Void Spirit. I think.
Don't get any
anyway, mid-lane
ideas.
Slayer. Oh my goodness. Not going to stand much chance next to this Wraith King, buffed up by the Solar Crest. It's Armlet, BKB, AC, and Basher.
Going back to timings, this is a 4K lead for Spirit. Does it feel like a 4K lead? Feels like a lot more than that, and a big part of that is just Yatoro on this Wraith King. A terrible start, an awful laning phase. He's jungling at level 5. Blink, 30 minutes later, here he is.
I mean, that's
top of the net worth
right? That's why it had sort of this, and it still has, this period of teams just loving to go for it. You are going to be able to make that recovery in the jungle if the enemy team isn't getting in your face and playing super aggro. And this game, Unique, they certainly weren't doing that. Where we saw a very, very sort of calm beginning from them after some strong opening lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And now the game has just allowed Spirit to really come into their element. And Unique's lack of pace is definitely starting to hurt them.
Oh, for sure. And they do it very methodically now, right? Just, okay. We got Aegis. Great. Take tier 2s. Awesome. Okay, we controlled the outpost. 30 minutes. Let's smoke towards top. They were thinking about contesting these bounties, but Coddle's Summon wasn't available yet. Ult was on cooldown until about just now. And they leave Yatoro bottom. So this effectively splits the map and makes Unique pick a choice, but they always have that option to bring him to the Coddle if needed. But like the map is theirs now. Great wards, top. Underrated lane ward right there.
How does
Very rarely countered.
lifesteal ever catch back up?
Well, you don't. Well, I mean, you can. It's possible.
It's hard. Yeah, it's seeming very hard right now. Top lane Slayer into the trees and TPs away. Nothing to put a stop to that.
So far, so good for Spirit. Again, they win. They get a shot at a tiebreaker match. And in fact, you could argue they'd even be favored in a way. I mean, again, they lost to No Techies and Empire, the two teams at the bottom of the group right now.
They did, but those were also, as far as I'm aware, their first two series of the league, right? So they had those two rough losses. Then they went into a series against VP, and they did take a game off VP. And then other than that, obviously, it's been all wins for Spirit. So, you know, I think definitely one of those teams that the case was that at the start of the league, they had, you know, sort of those first few games of really getting to the level that they're capable of. And now in games like this, I think we're seeing that. You know, this game, it really does feel that Spirit, they're playing it cool, they're playing it casual, and that's working out in this scenario. When you have your Toro on his Wraith King, they can very comfortably just sort of sit behind him and say, you know, as long as your Toro is having a good game, he's going to be able to carry out the opponent.
And now, you know, take enemy ancients. This is the triangle you want to be playing. Next, Aegis maybe is the point. You look to endgame, but you know, pro Dota, in pubs nowadays, like this is kind of just what Dota is now. You get this lead, you take map control, but you're not really thinking of going high ground until you double it, triple it, have Aegis, have cheese, and the cooldowns. And trying to go up a hill into Tidehunter is always difficult. Surprised they allow their ancients to be taken away though. I guess it was waiting for the abyssal delivery. Okay, now it's go time. Back to the aggression. It's one of the more annoying parts of Dota is like you know you're stronger, but you don't want to like take some game-deciding team fight without that big item that's like it's on the way. It's on the way.
Unlikely to find anything here unique. Yeah, the smokes just giving them the opportunities to get these jumps that they hope for. Spirit not leaving themselves open for that sort of move to be made against them.
Well, only great is right now Spirit have 3 tier 3 items in the neutral stash. Guys, upgrade everybody. You gotta.
What do they got?
Well, we have a Van Breaks on Shadow Demon instead of the ceremonial robe. We've got a Cloak of Flames going wanting. I'd love to see Bloodseeker pick that up instead of his Nether Shawl, but I guess he just wants the Spell Amp. And then an Elven Tunic for the Wraith King. I think he gives that Orb of Destruction over to the Wind Ranger. Right? Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Orb of Disruption is pretty nice on Wraith King.
Yes.
And I don't know if he needs the evasion. I guess the attack speed and move speed is nice, but even the move speed's got Abyssal. He's closing gaps with the Phase Abyssal. The evasion would be nice. But at the same time, you know, who's right-clicking him? It's just a lifesteal, and I don't think he's going to care too much about penalty.
Dude, evasion is so good. It's
yeah,
also anti-healing.
But I think because of how far ahead he is, he knows if he can just speed up the rate that he's killing people with that extra minus armor, then he's going to take that every time. And if they're down in a few crits, they're not even going to get the chance.
That's true. The Orb of Destruction. Look at that. He can't survive.
Yeah. This Wraith King's not going to die. You know, that's the last thing he's worried about at the moment, dying. As they'll lose Miposhka. See if they can get more out of this. They're trying for collapse. Come forward with the Abyssal onto Palantimos. Palantimos turning, going for Yatoro. We're going to see BKB from Toronto, Tokyo as he's looking towards Pikachu. Pikachu taking heavy damage here, jumps over to the side, looking towards Mirror. They'll find the Shadow Demon. Ghost now out. As Team Spirit, they will be outnumbered. They've got to run. This buyback from Ghost Stick, giving Unique the power to run down another. They take him down the once. Can they do it again? He's got the BKB. See who he can focus on. As Palantimos, he's getting the bashes. Shackle Shot isn't going to connect, as they've got to get the Wraith King out of here, but it looks like they won't be able to.
Wow.
As they're able to kite up the rest of the team, make sure that there's no help able to come in for Yatoro. As Yatoro goes down, Mira will die back. Yatoro actually dead for 80 seconds.
That was wild. And is Roche up? No. Okay, that would have been brutal. But so Mira buys back there, but he doesn't get in. He's not in time. He doesn't have the. He has a blink and an Aether Lens, still not able to get a disruption off, and still pays with his life. The two shackles. You know, here's the problem with Wind Ranger. 2 shackles used in that fight on Lifestealer. 2 shackles that do not latch.
No, they didn't.
That's that. That's your hero. Others, you just click stun. They're now stunned. But instead, missed shackle. Now you have to spend the Abyssal early. And no MKB on the Wraith King, so that Halberd is super effective still. And I believe Wind Ranger Ultimate was also still on cooldown when they opened there, because Tide had died, then bought back.
Well, no. I think he did have the ult. What Wind Ranger did, I think he ulted Palantimos. Palantimos just jumped inside the Void Spirit, and then of course the Focus Fire was giving him no benefit at all.
Yep.
Because he couldn't keep hitting the Lifestealer.
I'll say I'm surprised. Pikachu's had a very quiet game, but very farmed. Like, he's actually ahead of this enemy Wind Ranger, but his itemization, that Lincoln's, very effective. A lot of Spirit's lockdown is all single target. He just throws that on the Lifestealer.
Yeah. Well, important fight now. Roche is up. Smoke from both sides. Palantimos popping the rage. See who's going to be able to get his hands on. He's looking for Collapse. He's looking for Maposhka, but they'll wait it out. Gonna set up with the Atos. Over the side. Oh, it's a beautiful jump. Ghosting. He gets in with the 3-man Ravage. It's going to be Maposhka down. Maposhka will buy back straight away. Yatoro is able to turn onto Palantimos. He's now going to move over towards Ghosting. I mean, it was a great Ravage, but that might not necessarily secure them. The team fires. Ghosting will go down. Over to the side. Pikachu trying to burst through this Wind Ranger, and he will manage to do so as Toronto Tokyo will fall. Pikachu having to put the BKB to get away. The Blood Bright Silence on
You're so far.
Sets up for the kill. Now they're looking for Slayer. 2 buybacks from Unique as they're trying to get back over it. They're trying to get Yatoro, but Yatoro takes down Slayer. The armlet toggling, keeping him alive as he now turns his efforts over towards Pikachu. Pikachu, he will get stunned up and taken out. Triple kill for Collapse.
What are those buybacks? They baited their teammates into thinking that their reinforcements were alive. Look at the map. You know, this is the power of map control. They have no tier 2s. They do not have an outpost. They teleported to the tier 3s, and they're like, wait, you're fighting like way over the river. You're across the channel.
I mean, it was a great jump, but just initially not able to take down Yatoro in time. He gets the BKB off, and you're losing Palantimos at sort of the first death of the fight here for Unique, and at that moment, it becomes very hard for them to really rally up and keep on fighting.
But, like, thing is, they're out. Like, at this point, I feel like you almost have to cut your losses. You get the kill, perfect. Get out. Bignum is dead.
And there's the buyback.
Yes, and this is the thing. Pikachu's gone. Like, he has BKB active. He has an Astral Step. He can just run. Instead, they're baited by this idea that eventually reinforcements will get here. But look at the TP location. Look how far away Palantimos is.
A big fight there for Spirit. Around an important point as well there, around that Roshan. As they've been able to clean that up. Aegis on Yatoro, 3k gold as well.
And now you can see the danger too. If he gets ulted by Wind Ranger and there's no one to hop into right away, he just pretty much dies. Like, that was 4 seconds. Lifestealer goes from 100 to 0. Orchid now on Collapse. Both utilized, I guess, as a Lincoln's cancel, and also, you know, no BKB. Lifestealer can't really afford to buy one either. Already too much gold spent on defensive items. So
that is true, and they've got no. Yeah. Well, there's not just him as well. Yeah, nobody else has got anything to save them. So that will cause huge issue for Palantimos. He gets orchided. I mean, the money nearly there actually for the full Bloodthorn on Collapse.
Oh, that's actually really nice as a tool to completely negate evasion. One of the only items in Dota, with the exception of Divine Rapier. In fact, it is the only item other than Divine Rapier that can remove evasion entirely. More ways to counter it, of course.
Got an Eon Disc now on Toronto Tokyo as well. As in the River Slayer. He's been found here. Now run him down. He's speedy, but not speedy enough to get away from a running Wind Ranger. As top lane Pikachu. The jump's been made by Yatoro. He's in with the Abyssal. Some time will be brought. Toronto Tokyo's going to jump over towards Palantimos. Going to start forcing back the Lifestealer. Collapse and Yatoro. They're still going for Pikachu. Pikachu, he posts the BKB. He's got to get out with this TP. And he will do so. He's able to TP on time. He'll make it away. And now Spirit, they're ready to start pushing up to the base. There's no Death Prophet. Does have a buyback available. Let's see if they can hold this. That's Pikachu. Has to be careful. No BKB charge ready.
Gotta be really careful here. Toronto's got Blink BKB ready.
See, now burst the Wraith King the once. He's back for round 2 though. The Shackle connects. They're over towards Ghostic. The Lotus is now up from Ghostic, so he's able to reflect the stun still. Woo, he's going to tick out. Can't make it back to the base. They turn with the stun on Toronto Tokyo, but the Eon Disc gives him the chance to put the BKB and step back. As Yatoro continues to try and focus objectives, they have lost the creep wave though. So backdoor protection kicks in momentarily. For Spirit to reset a little bit.
The net worth is a little misleading right now. Yatoro has almost a full Swift Blink, not currently active. Game more even than net worth may appear. However, they've hit such an insane timing, and they can just wait. Reincarnation's up again.
He gets shackled off the creep wave. They're in onto him. Have they got the damage? Yatoro, can he bring down Palantimos in time? He's trying.
They got Toronto.
He can't quite. And in fact, Palantimos, he's turning back over towards Yatoro. Jump to the side. Pikachu, he's getting in there with the Astral Step over towards the edge. Slayer, he's ready to start swinging in with the Exorcism. Mira will kite him up with the Disruption. Pikachu jumping over, grabs the Shadow Demon back with the Remnant. Now the Glimmer Cape still buying time for Mira. Yatoro is still getting focused down here, but he's got a few lives to work through. But they've lost 2. They've lost Slayer. And they've lost Toronto Tokyo.
What a wild fight. Yeah, that was a great initiation. Pikachu, again, like, he's doing his part. They managed to burst down the Wind Ranger near the back of the fight, ignoring Yatoro. His Aeon Disc, his BKB were on cooldown. They did get Ghost Stick. He did not, he did not buy back. They just kind of, you know, when you're killing a Tide Hunter, unfortunately, you typically have to utilize more resources than you would want. And that was the case there. But nice job by Bignum and Pikachu just to find that kill on the necessary core. And the one danger is you're going to... Yeah, Swift Blink is ready, and now we can slot it in. Once Aegis fades, he will be officially out of room to grow. You could argue we could replace Boots by Moonshot, sure, but either way, reaching his near peak. Abyssal now finished on Lifestealer, and we did see Collapse's Bloodthorn come into play there, because, again, you remove the total evasion from the Lifestealer. Did he talent? No, he did not. He actually, wow, he went for the Ghoul Frenzy slow. But I guess that makes sense. You're playing against MKB already, and there's a Bloodthorn. So it makes sense, but that's why you get it, right? 20% plus the 16% would have been pretty nuts. You kind of need more tools to deal with it. And I expect that the final item for Yatoro... Oh, wow, no. It's a Bloodthorn of his own. They recognize the importance of any evasion. I thought maybe a Rapier. It still could be in the cards. We'll see.
We're going to see the jump from Spirit. Palantimos, he's shown on the wave. Going to start teasing things out with the illusion, but immediately taken out. Now they're going to hit back with a smoke themselves, Unique.
They know. Got to be careful here.
They scan it as well. They know the rough area of Spirit.
Oh, he's going to pop it from the high ground.
Slayer.
Oh.
He jumped straight in there. Not the strongest of initiators there. Slayer, as he just goes in, drops the silence, and immediately drops his life for a Pikachu. He's got to be careful. He's trying to run. He's going to jump to the side here. He's up into the high ground. But he has been ruptured. He's got to keep holding himself still. But there's the jump. They're in with the stun. They're taking him out. And now turn over towards Palantimos. There'll be a buyback from Pikachu. As Yatoro's on the run. Palantimos getting him with the Abyssal. But Mira keeps the Wraith King safe with the disruption. They turn with the silence onto the Lucy. They have to use the Ravage save, but he goes down. They can't save him in time. The poison damage from Mira enough to push Palantimos over the edge. And now they're without the Lifestealer for 2 whole minutes. It's Pikachu. He's trying his best to fight back. He's got the 25, so that to simulate stun is helping. Over to the side, Slayer. He's committing in with the Exorcism. Atos holds him back. See the Spirit sees the opportunity to jump back in. It's a long time where they don't have to worry about the Lifestealer getting involved again.
And Pikachu's the real deal, but it's just not enough. It is not enough for his team in this game. A really late buyback from Slayer. I'm cool with the blink up into the high ground into an immediate abyssal death.
If you're going to use the buyback.
You gotta buy back immediately because that breaks open the fight. Your team should be initiating off the back of your intentional death. We've seen that time after time from Kuro, from Solo, and these big critical matches. But if you save buyback for that long, it must have been on cooldown perhaps? I don't know.
And Yatoro's in.
Okay. All right.
Takes out Bignum. Bignum will buy back. Did use the BKB for that attempt. Yatoro gonna have Pikachu jumping in. Onto the Wraith King. Keeping him chain stunned. Oh, they can't stop him from taking the tower. Yatoro. A burst for him once.
Whoa. Oh, the disrupt.
Oh, yeah.
The disrupt on the finger.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I saw him disappear. I was like, wait, he didn't die. He didn't lose the ult. He's still got a good to go. Mirror with the perfect timing. All right. Oh, baby. As Ghosty, well, he just gets jumped and focus fired over to the side. Slayer's going to go down. As the die back from him. They have a fortification. Ghostic will buy back. Inside the base, Mirror. I'm not quite sure what he's doing here. He's pretty deep. But he's making space, and space will be made. The mid-Rex will be taken down by Spirit. They're still trying to bring Yatoro down though once. See if they can do it this time. Nope, forced out to the side. They jump forward. They're up to burst him. And at the same time, though, the Shackles come out, the two of them. Palantimos ready to chase with the Rage. Jumps into Pikachu, allows him to close the gap on him in posture. They get the Kotl. There'll be a buyback from Mirror. The rest of Spirit, they backed off. And they got what they came for. Instead of Rax, and we'll see that finger damage dodge here again.
That juke and the carrying as well, man. I love the slow-mo.
Perfectly done. That little bit of instance between the connection and the damage being dealt. Mirror's able to find it.
I think he toggled too, so he's actually just dead to any touch there. So really nice timing. They get how many buybacks? I think they used pretty much the whole team. Yeah. Everybody on the Radiant side has used their buyback. With the exception of Palamentinos, who used it before, but needs a little more gold for it. But first, I like what he's got queued up. Rapier, you need it.
He does.
You are so far behind. You feel it. The damage output just simply not there. BKB now complete on the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, he's got to make sure whoever he jumps with this Abyssal is 100 to 0 throughout the duration of his Rage. And here we go. Yeah, that Bloodthorn done. So a couple of measures to deal with that. Those Halberds and evasion to break through the Lincolns.
The trouble is Slayer and Bignum, you know, it's at the point you've got this Ghost Scepter on Slayer, you have some blinks on both, but you just die. You die to anything, you know. This Abyssal comes in, all of a sudden you're gone with no buyback. It's just so difficult now for your cores to actually stick to targets. You got to play near flawlessly from here on out if you're unique to win this game. Toronto Tokyo Daedalus complete level 25. Really like the Aeon Disc. This is something I've wanted to bring up for a while. In many ways, both Western and Eastern Europe are behind. In SEA and China, Aeon Disc is like a very common item pick, especially on heroes like these mids, Void Spirit, Wind Rangers, you know. Third item, you'll see it. I've even seen it second item because it guarantees that you can tank that initial burst, reset, get your spells off.
This is a aggressive move here from Toronto Tokyo. And straight in onto Ghostic.
Aeon Disc.
And now he's got the BKB. So he's...
Well, he had Arcane Rune too, plus that CDR talent at 25. So that's a 40-second CD on his Aeon and 25 on BKB.
Well, that's pretty ridiculous.
That's nuts.
To see that sort of low of a cooldown on the old Aeon Disc. Yeah. I mean, it's, as you said already, that definitely the merits for exciting, but on these sort of heroes with that benefit.
We saw it in the Enigma series from yesterday as well. The Wind Waker will be another thing that becomes more meta, I feel. Everybody is maximizing on their damage output. The next evolution of the meta will be people realizing, if we just survive that initial onslaught, you know, with this Lion becoming more common as an example, you're going to turn the fight around 100%. You just have to make sure that all 5 of your heroes can get their spells off. Ghostic, hello. Ghostic. That's okay. Soul, okay, no buyback, all right.
Yeah, they've lost the tide for 2 minutes. And over to the side, Yatoro, he's in, straight on a Slayer. Now he's going to look towards Pikachu. Pikachu trying to find Mirror, but Mirror is able to keep himself alive with the self-disruption. jump back is there with the Remnant. Mirror does fall, but over to the side, Jotaro, he's trying to run down the Death Prophet. He's going to turn his efforts over towards Pikachu as they're taking them down one by one. As Pikachu, he's going to yaws himself up in the air. Palantimos trying to take down what he can. He's able to get himself Toronto, Tokyo. Can Palantimos do this? He's looking over towards Jotaro. Yatoro's got the backup of Collapse. The Blood Right comes in. Pikachu coming in with the Astral Step Burst. They take down the Wraith King the once. Can the two of them clean up again? And Silence out onto this lifesteal and the damage for Yatoro. It's too much for Palantimos to deal with. As he's Bloodthorned and critted down by the Wraith King. Just Pikachu left alive and he's got to run.
As he respawned, he blinked in melee range just to get the Swift Blink. He's like, you know what? I need that little bit of extra juice. Hits the Nitrous. And like Vin Diesel blew past Paul Walker, he ensures he's got the right click to go toe-to-toe. I think he probably wins that duel anyway, but you just want to make sure, you know, no rookie mistakes.
I did look like it was on the verge of maybe Palantimos being able to tear the whole team apart, as he was doing a good job getting that strong early kill in the fight on the Wind Ranger, but just not enough.
These animations are nuts. I don't even know what the hell's going on with the True King crits plus the Bloodful. Like, what's even happening? Give him a Giant's Ring now. All we need. This is a 51-minute game. What? Time flies, man.
No, I mean, it did, yeah. It's a 51-minute game that it's just been a game of it really feels Unique just falling further and further behind and about to fall even further down. By the looks of it, it's Pikachu. He's been caught. And he's now out and down for 2 minutes. No buyback at the moment here on Pikachu, so a big window here for Spirit to push on and get themselves closer towards that victory.
Maybe Yatoro, I mean, he's got Aegis. He's got Bloodthorn finished. BKB, Swift Blink, Moon Shard complete. Is there anything else you need to go high ground? Guaranteed 4v5 now for the next 100 seconds. Team Spirit, is it time? The answer is yes. But how much will they get out of this? Hex on the Coddle, my god. Refresher Shard now on the Shadow Demon. Poor Miro, 3-10 and 10. He's had a performance, but...
He's doing his job.
Yeah. It's like, why are they killing me, guys? I don't understand. Nice smoke wrap, but I don't know. Ghost Stick.
Oh, he's in! But it's a Ravage onto Collapse. They burst him with the finger, but he's not quite dead. Collapse, he's able to get out, pop the cheese. He's back up to full. The Shackle's out onto Slayer. Slayer's gone and they'll call it. They know if that's not going to do it, nothing is at this point.
Mira
GG is called.
Mira got an axe and used his Refresher Shard. He purged the entire enemy team.